Let's take a look at a jubilant Nigel Farage. We would not have Brexit without Nigel. He kept pushing those Conservatives. He held them to account. Let's take a look at this report.
The people stood firm. We've got it. We've left the European Union. We've passed the point of no return. It's a truly historic moment. Everybody had said, whatever the result of the referendum, we will honour it and implement it. We've just been through 3.5 years of parliamentary trench warfare. We've had the establishment try to stop this happening. But tonight, when even Tony Blair says there's no looking back, we're leaving, let's try and make a success of it. Now is the time to end negative arguments, negative questions. Let's get on and make a success of it. Do you know, my parents are here tonight with me and they're getting on a bit in years. They both voted in 75, they both voted to stay in something called the common market. It made sense to them in a post-war world to be friendly and trade with each other. They didn't vote for a European flag. They didn't vote for a European anthem. They didn't vote for some obscure president. They didn't vote for a European police force, a European army. They didn't vote for most of our laws to be made somewhere else. The whole thing was sold 50 years ago on a complete and utter lie, and that has now been corrected. We'll always be friendly with our European neighbours, but we've got a bigger, better role in the world. You know, we are better, bigger, stronger than being a star on somebody else's flag.
Oh, Nigel Farage. You just need one, Nathan.
Look, he's going to go down in the history books, isn't he?
Yeah.
But you watch now. You watch the one of the greatest economic miracles of our new millennia. I think the UK is going to just explode with prosperity after this. I think the way it's been set up and the stories we're going to look at later about how the Prime Minister is going to deal with trade. It's just going to be, I think, for the British people, it's going to be a marvellous thing.
Well, the story in the UK Telegraph tomorrow is Boris Johnson plans to impose full customs and border checks on European goods. Scott, you're actually, Nathan, I'll just ask you about that first. This toughened approach, which is designed to give UK negotiators greater leverage in Brussels. How do you think Boris Johnson's going to go?
Well, look, I've had some questions about Boris Johnson. We've discussed him before, Jane. I worry that he's just a one-trick pony, that now his job was Brexit, now Brexit's done. I was concerned he'd be subject to sort of pressure from his bureaucracy, he'd be a bit conservative light. But look, things like this give me hope. I think perhaps he's going to actually be tougher than people give him credit for.
Apart from that deal with Huawei and 5G.
Oh, that's questionable.
That's so questionable. Scott, your thoughts on Brexit?
Oh, look, it's fascinating to see Nigel Farage there. As he said, 27 years he was fighting for this. Finally, he achieved it. Now we see Boris Johnson saying, look, we're going to have the hard line. Well, he's got to do that hard line because he wants to negotiate the best deal possible. Now, if he does achieve the kind of economic miracle that Nathan talks about, if there is this economic miracle that the UK suddenly gets, you wonder about who else might suddenly say, well, why are we in the EU?
Portugal.
Why are we still there a week ago as well?
Italy.
That must be the worry in Brussels at the moment, that they'll pull it off and the others will start saying, we might do the same.